What?
All right, we're live. That's all you. Wes.
Well, my friends, welcome to the Wes Smith Variety ShYo. This one's going to be a hoot because I'm pretty sure that everybody's pretty lit already.
I'm catching up.
Never.
Nope.
Clay's far behind.
We're good. We're cool.
Today, well, first of all, I would like to say thank you so much to all the Burning Man friends and people. We had such a good time there. And, Kelly and I, that means, in separate camps and having all the fun. We saw each other a few times, but man, did we have a good time. And I have to say, of my 4 burns, it's my favorite so far. So, I have to give a few thank yous. First of all, to I played the opening night at Duck Pond, and to Tim and Chris over there. What a fantastic night, and all the Duck Pond team and crew and whatever. That is a really special block party, and that was just a lot of fun. And then also,
That was awesome.
yeah, I had a great time. And also to Dusty Rhino and that crew and Slut Garden. So Nugs over at Dusty Rhino and Dot over at Slut Garden, who we did the last Friday show with. That was awesome. And let's see, what else? The Gonzo Village crew, and they're kind of a combination of friends from San Diego and Seattle. That was awesome. And yeah, that was fun. So I didn't get to make it over to the Dusty Poon Saloon, but that's another San Diego crew, and I'm sad that I didn't get over there.
I like that name. I like that name. You should have went.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
They throw like one party. It's called their Poon at high noon, and it's on Tuesday.
Yes. Dude, that's the best name ever. How did you not go to the High Poon at noon?
I mean, he's been to it before. He just didn't go this year.
It's just I just missed it, man. I got wrapped up in other.
Other poon.
I got wrapped up in other things
So much Poon.
Not enough time.
that I couldn't make it to the saloon. But anyway, yeah, like I had a great time. And Kelly, I know you did too. And we've got Square Pegs, the whole squad, or a lot of the squad on today to chat with.
We're missing a Josh B, but he's yeah, we're missing him.
Well, we had Josh B on before
Yep.
by himself. So that's a, whatever, dude, slacker.
He's just trying not to be greedy right now. That's what he's doing.
But we also were supposed to have Square Pegs once before, and I think
Never.
that's the only time I ever had to cancel a variety show.
No, we did it. You just weren't there.
We did it. Oh, we did it. It was
like really fast too. It was like 10-minute show, and we're like, all right, let's go drink.
I was at work.
We did it.
That's right. You guys did it without me, but I canceled on it, and I don't remember what I was doing. But anyway,
Hope you were having fun.
Maybe it was one of those poon parties.
It was
a poon party.
Dusty Poon. He was like, I see you guys. I'm out here at Poon.
I was at a Poon party, and I was just reading the ingredients on the back of my choice of beverage for today's show, and it happens to say juicy citrus on it.
Nice. Could it be like a
Mine says GMO cornmeal.
orange, a
Let's just always
lemon?
enjoy responsibly and please recycle.
Well, that's a great place to start. Aside from having, well, hey, usually we talk about some things coming up. Let's do that real quick. Hey, everybody today listening or in other places that are part of it, let's try to have some kind of organization to this thing. That's the number one complaint. Whenever I run into the millions of people that watch this, the number one complaint is it's so disorganized.
It's super organized.
It's all Kelly's fault.
It's my fault. I'll take blame.
So let's see. I'll sharing is caring. I'll start off. So this Saturday, I know we have some commonality on our people that are coming to our parties.
Friday.
This we have Martin Horger. Graciously swinging by on a Sunday for a day party here in San Diego. That's going to be really fun for my San Diego family. What about you guys?
Oh, we got him on Friday.
Lady
Yep.
Wax,
Lady Wax,
Martin Horger,
all
Kelly
of us,
Ross,
all of us.
Yep.
Mac,
All three of us.
Julian, Mad Monk, Fletch,
Fletch,
Aaron
Mizzo,
Sigmund,
Mizzo.
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 DJ
Gonna be
U.
great.
DJ U.
DJ U.
And where are you guys doing that at? What's the venue?
The Surge. Aaron Sigmund and Laura bought the
Bought
A club.
L4.
Aaron's
And-
playing too.
Yeah, and Aaron's playing too.
Yeah,
Aaron's playing
that's
too.
right. Me and Aaron are gonna tag. It's gonna be great.
It's the L4 space, but someone else owns it now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Laura,
yeah,
Laura and Aaron own it
They've
now.
Definitely
And
new and
they're bringing
improved.
some
New and
dope-
Good
improved.
friends. Good
Yeah,
friends.
definitely
they've
bringing
changed the
some
sound
dope shows.
system around. They've changed the venue around since the last time you were there.
You would love to see it, Wes.
They still have an outdoor and an indoor.
Yes.
Yes.
Outdoor,
sir.
indoor.
Yep.
So, to just give you a little bit of a history, when I was a young raver, Aaron Sigmund was always, well, Laura always threw the parties, and Aaron Sigmund was always the house DJ. So I became a DJ because inadvertently through Aaron Sigmund.
Oh,
So-
really?
Well, full circle.
Yeah, full circle!
Oh.
It's not a square, it's a full.
Wow.
It is a circle.
It's not even a pentagon. It's a circle.
It's a circle. It's a full circle.
It's
So
no
yeah,
longer square.
because I used to live in Charlotte way back in the day, and
But a peg. But if you do a square peg, well, I was gonna say a peg is round, right?
peg is round. Yeah, that's true.
That's her in the equation.
The circle gets the square. How about that?
Ding, 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 ding.
So this is a rare occasion. Kelly is not in New York on her boat.
Yep.
You are in Charlotte, right?
I'm in
Yep.
Charlotte.
Yes, she
I'm in the
is.
Queen City, Charlotte.
Well, let's jump in and talk a little bit about Charlotte and square pegs and what you guys are doing over there. Because I know you're doing, man. You've been hitting it for a while now. So tell us all about it. What's going on?
Get over, Julian. Let's go.
Julian?
Julian.
Oh, what?
Oh,
Jump in.
I would say Square Pegs has been going on.
Square pegs, master. Come on.
Square Pegs been going on for about 3 years now. I would say, kind of slowly creeping up from the actually from Crown Station.
Slowly.
Is it's
That's where I met y'all.
yes,
Yep.
this slowly innovation came from Crown Station, which
Just had a grand reopening.
just had they're in a new location, and we'll be there in November doing our first show there after their grand opening.
Not sure what
Shout
it
out
is
to
yet.
DJ Dan. He put on a great party. He had a great set
Shit was
Also a unicorn.
nasty.
last weekend.
So just kind of, I think I talked about this before. Look, Charlotte used to have a huge drum and bass break scene, broken break scene back about 10, 15 years ago. So
That I grew up in. Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
absolutely. I mean, it was one of the best in the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we just kind of wanted to keep that alive, and it's kind of getting up there. We it's kind of getting this little charge back up, and this year's been real good. Last year, Wes was here in February last year.
Awesome
of course.
I
show.
think you're
Left, right. That was an awesome show.
I think you're underselling yourself a lot. I think that Charlotte it's not creeping up slowly. You guys are here. You have arrived.
Well,
You're doing-
We've definitely put in a lot of work to get to this point.
we put in.
I'm not
There's
just coming.
definitely
I'm
been a
just
lot of
saying,
work.
like,
We've had some of the best DJs in the world.
Yes.
Best DJs in the country, best DJs, around, and people are appreciated, and just kind of hearing what that is, that broken beat, that funk, that breaks can bring to them. And my mentality has always been, if the ladies love it, the guys will come. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
We're trying to get those girls on the dance floor to feel that fucking bass in their fucking ass. You know what I'm saying?
Tomorrow night will be amazing. Come out. It will
Yeah.
be great. Lady Wax, Martin
So we're
Horder,
doing it.
Kelly Ross.
We're
Yep.
doing it.
What?
DJ Mac, Fat Rabbit.
So let me ask you. Yeah. I know some of the people that have run through there. What with Martin and Lady Wax. So how do you guys know of them? I always think the story of how people, know the DJs and producers that come through and play their parties. I always think that's kind of interesting. So what's kind of your history with those two and individually, probably because you probably all either listen to their music or something in different ways in the past.
Yeah, how does one get to know like a
Well,
woman from Russia?
I
You know,
got
like,
to I got to kick it with Lady Wax a couple years ago at conference, and we had a great time at the Doggy Dog pool party. You played that too, and I still have your balls at my house.
I've got some balls of yours upstairs.
I mean,
And,
I got all the balls.
That was in their mouth.
My balls run far and wide.
Yep.
Yes,
That was
they
an
do.
amazing show. She's
wrinkle
so
times.
amazing. She's such an awesome person, and it's gonna be such a great night. She not only got up there and DJ'd and threw down, she came out and danced with everybody and had a great time and made a little video, and everybody was included. She's a great person. She threw down a great set. Tomorrow's gonna be amazing. And Martin Horger, one of the best we've ever had here in Charlotte.
Well, we had Martin Horger last year about the same time, right
Yep.
around June or July of last year. I had been talking to him for a while. I mean, look, I got a little man crush, okay?
I do too.
Real talk.
Oh my God, he's sunshine in a bottle.
He's like
I
the
love
coolest.
him.
He's a humble DJ and real cool DJ and like one of the most innovative, like just like real guys that just fucking doing their thing. So
Definitely knows how to read a crowd.
yeah, I was happy to have him back because it was just it was a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying, for us, because he did so well.
And this is the Square Peg Summer Blowout, so we decided to go a little bigger
Yep.
and combine 2 headliners for a good show. And hopefully everybody will come out. We'll have a great time. We'll have a good night. It's going to be great music. And how could you not? I mean, just look.
So I know when I was there, I played at L4, which is the same venue but different owners and enhanced sound and cool stuff. What are some of the, like, there's a couple other venues that I think y'all have done some of the shows at, which are.
So you got go ahead.
We've done some stuff at the basement, and we've also done some stuff at the label, which would be the Ivory Lounge. We've done some stuff there,
Did
but
stuff. We did something.
L4
We
is
did stuff at
basically our home.
Roxbury.
Though. But L4 is our home.
And
That really is our home, and that's where we had Stanton Warriors and
Oh, okay.
Who Got You and Left Right. That was an amazing
Mafia
show.
Kiss.
It's our Mafia Kiss just passed.
Yeah, that was fun.
That is our home. That it really is our home, and we love that place. It's got that vibe. It's
Basement was, I think that's the place we went when I was there, right? We just went by there the night before or something.
No,
that's a good possibility.
No, it wasn't happening.
No.
It wasn't happening last year at this time.
No. We went to Roxbury, the 80s and 90s club that I worked with on occasion.
I was a little lit. Damn, I was drunk.
Yeah. We went to
the one, and then we went to the other one.
Oh yeah, you had the pants on.
Then we went to
They wouldn't
Sip,
let you in with
and
your
they wouldn't let
pants
you in
on.
with your camo pants on.
Yes, you had the sweatpants.
Yeah, they were like, you can't.
Wes, we're classy around here, bro. You can't wear that shit around here.
They're like,
This is in California.
They told him he couldn't get in because they were wearing joggers. And we had to convince. We had to talk to the DJ that we knew.
Coming
and-
back.
No, Ian Chrome's in the house. Thank you, Ian Chrome, for getting Wes Smith in here.
It's the first time I ever heard him called that, and I was like, joggers, what does that even mean, dude? Like, I'm not, because I run, and I was like, I'm not running anywhere. Like that, like I would never run anywhere.
Jump into your club, not.
Yeah.
Hey, but I'd like to say big up to Charlotte, man. We're doing a thing, man. Whether it's the break thing with Square Pegs, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to Josh and the basement crew and everybody, man.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And you got Spence doing their thing here. Just keeping that true.
That's what I was saying. Who are so Charlotte's got a lot to talk about, and so who are some of the other DJs and either crews or parties that they're promoting? Like, what's going on with that?
Oh, there's so many.
Well,
man.
I mean,
Where to start?
there's Josh, and they actually just had Josh Wink at Basement
DJ Dan
for their
FYI,
1 year
Basement crew.
anniversary there. They had DJ Dan for the grand opening at the Crown Station Coffee House. Then you've got Mike Tookie from Spent with Danny B, and those guys are doing big things. And then
I'll be with them on Saturday.
Yeah,
much love.
Yep. And then you got Martin that's doing stuff with on
Double Trouble.
as Double Trouble, and it's just
And Aaron and Laura just bought a bar. Now what to do?
Aaron
Bring
and Laura-
Bad Boy Bill and Dara and
Yeah, they got Bad Boy Bill one on a Friday and Dara on a Saturday. It's pretty crazy. I mean, we've got a lot of big big things coming
They
through
just
here.
had Frankie Bones. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Charlotte's popping. Charlotte is definitely popping. There's a lot of love for the music, and everybody supports. That's the most important thing that I want to talk about with Charlotte. Charlotte not only has their breaker crew, the house crew, the whatever. Everybody comes out and supports each other as a whole, and that's what makes Charlotte good about Charlotte.
Yeah.
Everybody, when you go out, you can see familiar faces in a breaks crowd, in a house crowd, in a track crowd. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Everybody's supporting the music. They're having a good time, and that's what makes Charlotte so good about Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't know, Basement's got some.
Basement's killing it.
Though, man.
Still to this day, one of the best sets I've seen at Basement, Mikey Lyons killed it. San Francisco.
No, Mark Starr, bro.
Mark Starr killed it too, but Mikey Lyons killed it. I mean, Mikey Lyons killed it.
I love some Mark Starr. I love some Mark Starr. Guys. Come on now.
And they've got a lot of stuff fixing to come. I can't mention anything they got coming, but they've got a lot of good stuff coming.
I think Mikey Lyons is a San Diego guy.
He's awesome. He killed it. He came out here and killed it. I loved it.
He's I'm pretty sure he's a Desert Hearts crew guy, and
He sure is.
And on that note, that's an interesting tie because, like, he is. I just checked. I looked him up real quick. He's LA based, I think now, but maybe he was San Diego or he's both or something. But definitely SoCal versus Northern Cal. And he's part of Desert Hearts. And Desert Hearts. So I played. I don't think I ever met Mikey, but Lee Reynolds is kind of like the guru of Desert Hearts, and he's also he's a San Diego guy. And I played Breakfast of Champions with him. He was on the house arena thing, and I was on the outside on the house and breaks thing. And he's a neat guy. He's a very eccentric guy, but great house music and all that stuff. So he might be one you want to put on your radar, or your friends that do that kind of stuff might want to put on the radar.
Definitely. Not only that, he was a great person. He hung out with everybody. He interacted with the crowd. I mean, and that's what it boils down to. I mean, everybody has that person you like and you look up to, and they see him as a DJ and they come to town. But you see them play and they leave, and you never get to interact with them.
I just come and bring my balls and share my balls with everybody.
Yes.
All right, so
I have a frisbee too.
I have a question. So you guys bring a lot of DJs, and obviously Wes, you do as well for your parties. What sets people apart? Is it people that come out into the crowd and interact? Because that's the second time you said that. Like Lady Wax takes a video.
She interacts. Yes. I mean, that's the most important thing. If you don't interact with your crowd and your fan base, I mean, it's one thing everybody has supporters. They look up to you. They want to, they idolize you. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, that's your fan base. But they interact with the crowd, and that's what makes them above and beyond of anything. Yeah. In my eyes.
And I don't think not only that, but for me as the person that kind of books these people, that is the pool. You know what I'm saying? These people, Martin Horger, Lady Wax, Decline, whoever it is, these guys are playing $20,000, $30,000. I mean, 30,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Festivals.
Yeah.
And when I say you can get in front of 400-500 people, and it's so personable where they can get out there and shake hands with people, it makes so much difference because they're not that they're saying they're not used to that, but it's a lot more personable, and they're like, dude, the guy's right here in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Or a girl's right in front of me.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And
they love that.
And that's one thing that, like when we had Decline a few months back, he was such an amazing. He's not only an amazing producer and DJ. He was such a chilled, just laid back guy, awesome to hang out with, and he walked around the club just talking and hanging out with people. Kind of the same way you did when we had you here.
Oh, Wes was amazing.
Wes was amazing.
The people we bring.
I I'm a cheap date. Like you get.
You don't even tell me. You don't even tell me.
You
went there and he was playing breaks.
Yeah, Mizzo was playing that night.
You get some pull string pants on me and 2 beers, and I'm good for the night.
Nah, you were amazing. That night, I'm going to tell you what. That night we had you and Left Right Here was absolutely amazing. The both of you guys, It was such an amazing night. And we've had that over and over and over again so many times. And we've had so many amazing artists come through Charlotte. And I swear that is what helps us do what we're doing is you guys. Because if it wasn't for you guys interacting with the people and doing what you do, we're nothing. I mean, we really are.
If you guys came into town and you came in and you played the show, you did your hour and a half, maybe 2 hour set, and then you just blew everybody off and walked out the fucking door, then nobody.
So here's an interesting. When Kelly asked that, her question, but here's an interesting observation I have about this whole thing, and I'm going to pose it to you because the parties that I produce, I don't bring as many DJs as you guys do.
North Carolina DJs. You don't bring as many North Carolina DJs.
It's a little.
Please continue.
Sorry, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like it is purposely Sunday, and because that's the time, most of the time that I know I'll be here, and it's also the party we're doing here, which is a few times a year, not regularly on the monthly, is the guys that I started doing it with, which is Colin Vaz, Cole Vassallo. He works with the label. He runs all the stuff for me in terms of the releases and things and coordinating with artists and all that. And of course, Kelly does some of the promo. But then Everardo, which is Evlo, and he DJs all of them. And they're like two really cool, open-minded music guys, from the generation, below, after me, so to speak. And so anyway, we started the whole thing based on, trying to just highlight bass and house and breaks. And we all love house music and techno, and we support a lot of those parties and drum and bass here too. So we wanted to, do something that was just, I wouldn't say different, but not present, right? It's not like different in the sense that no one in the world's doing it. It's just what here in San Diego and SoCal, it wasn't a Sunday thing going on. So that's why we did it, and to showcase, anybody who's with the label that happened to be here, things like that. And so anyway, so that's kind of how these things occur. So it's not, what I mean is it's not as many circulating DJs, so to speak, as you guys do, which is a whole different kind of effort. And I applaud you guys for that. So that's super cool.
Well, we just try to bring a good night to everybody in this town, and that's all we do. We don't try to shine as a crew. We try to lift others up, and we try to bring entertainment to this town. Yeah, and that's what we do.
And a lot of people a lot of people here, they're like, oh well, Square Peg's crew, that's the
part of that shit.
Square Peg's crew is the resident breaks crew. They're the guys that do all the breaks parties. Well, yeah, that's true. We do all the breaks parties because there aren't a whole lot of other guys that do breaks parties here. But we also try and bring, it might not be in the main room all the time, but we try and bring other genres in, at least on our back patios, or we might have somebody open it, somebody open it up in the inside there that has, does some bass or does some house music. We've got a great friend in Fayetteville named Brittany. Sonia is an amazing DJ.
Oh yeah, Brittany.
We love having her come join us on a stage, and even Martin DJ Funktavious. He does a little bit of everything, He'll
do you for $2.
Yeah. we got a lot of talent pool in the North and South Carolina area.
Is that what they call it there? Talent?
Yeah.
Hey, got the skills to pay the bills.
But, it ranges from house music to break beats to trance to everything. And we got a lot of really talented people in this area that we try and give at least a little bit to shine. It might not happen every party, but it does happen. 2 or 3 times a year, we'll try and do at least some multi-genre type stuff to get other people out there and bring other people into the break scene. They might not know the break scene, but they want to come hear some guy play house music, so they'll come out and hear him play house music and then end up listening to breaks at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, you guys, I've talked with you a little bit about it, but you guys probably know, like when I did the last tour thing, I guess we did about 10 dates, and I did a lot of that with ShYo, and we made a point of trying to do that as we went around and just have different, at least one or two, at a minimum, people from crews that we'd never worked with or didn't really know from any kind of DJ mixes or production or anything like that. And I thought it was really cool because it did that kind of thing. It really spread spread the love across different people that may not realize they like similar things.
Right. Well, it's crazy. I don't want to say it like this because I don't mean it like this, but it's kind of like the bait and switch kind of thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it really is.
Like
right.
we throw a little bit of house in there, a little bit of bass music, you know what I'm saying, and that gets them out there. And then they hear the breaks, they're like, "Oh shit, this shit is nasty," you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that little bass and that bait and switch.
Kind of like what we all do. We slip a little house track in every now and again.
I want them to hear that bass music, and that broken beat stuff, man. Because
no, we're not talking about how you get dates. We're talking about music.
Slipping that bass.
Play. Because guess what? What I've been seeing here in the last year, all these big electronic guys been dropping breaks. Now they want to call it electro house.
Yeah.
They want to call it whatever they want to call it. But guess what? It's break beats, dude, and it's blowing stages.
Well, I saw Skrillex.
I've had a lot of fun with. I'm sure. Well, I know. You guys at least occasionally will buy some music of mine, for example, through Beatport, because whatever, and others obviously. But my fun in the last year has been, and Kelly can tell you, like inside and out, it's like I don't even I just tell Colin, I'm like, dude, pick any genre you want and just put whatever I make in that genre. And it's crazy, dude, because sometimes
indie dance.
Sometimes they'll put what is, in my opinion, a straight up breakbeat song over in like new disco.
Yes.
Indie dance. Indie dance.
Hey, I just want to know when Beatport's going to get that future.
I'm not mad about it, but then sometimes there'll be things that are the opposite. And then occasionally I will have somebody hit me up and be like, "Yo, dog, why are you putting house music in the breaks genre?" And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. I have nothing to do with that. So for the record, anybody that's listening now or in the future, I have absolutely nothing to do with what genre the music I make goes into. Nothing.
You and me both, because Debbie D put me under a trap. Thank you.
But look,
I don't know how they come up with it. I have no idea.
Well, I don't know, man. But look, so Charlotte has a huge house scene. Like it's enormous.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Oh, New York City has a huge.
Well, Charlotte does too.
So,
Josh tells her in the basement.
What I'm saying is this: half of the guys who play here that are house DJs, they play a lot of breaks, dude. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. You know what I'm saying? It's that electro, fucking Miami kind of stuff. All that Dirty Bird shit. I love it. I mean, I love it to the core. Fucking, I love it. Okay, but you can't tell me it's not breaks. You can put it under whatever category you want it to. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's that broken beat goodness.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to get people to listen to, man.
And one more thing, one more person I want to give a shout out to, because he's doing big. He's trying to do some big things here too. Is Lauren Brown, aka Rex the Stepper.
Of course,
Rex has got Lee Combs coming in a couple weeks.
Jay Robinson.
Jay Robinson coming in a couple weeks. So
did we reach? Hey Kelly, did we reach the shout out section of the show?
Yes, we did. We didn't say hello to Eric Rigsby.
Who?
Eric Rigsby. Look, that's him right there.
024, please. Thank you. I'll do it for you. Free mix.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, I did hear he wanted a Wes Smith exclusive mix, and you never answered. So will you do an exclusive mix for him?
Dick move.
It's not chick move. Chick move. It's so exclusive you didn't see it, dog.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Eric. I tried, bro.
It's in the cloud. It's in the cloud. You gotta find it.
Was that the dick move section? Okay, we're good now.
Yeah, since we got that out of the way.
So So I don't recall seeing it, which doesn't mean I didn't see it, but I don't recall it.
Okay, Ronald Reagan.
I don't recall.
I'm really like, I'm trying to do, well, of course, until we start our own show, you know, with mixes, I personally, I try to do like a couple a year, not like so many, that are like studio mixes, you know, like for podcasts or whatever. Like people record them, they put them out. I don't care about that, but that's fine. But, in terms of like these shows, like the Armory or whatever. So, you know, I did the Magic Carpet Ride album.
Amazing.
Amazing.
All right, Peanut Gallery. Woo,
Amazing. I'll give you props on that one.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
I appreciate that because it came out right before I went to Burning Man, so I really didn't get time to like do, you know, sort of much with it other than the, you know, like whatever. And and while I was gone, and then came back, and then when I came back, I looked at some of the charts and stats and stuff, and I was really pretty excited because well, it charted. So first time ever for me, you know, that this happened with an album. That album charted in the top 100 in 5 different genres.
Nice.
Oh shit!
Congrats to you. That was a great mix, man. I still play it. I love it.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to you on that.
It charted in Beatport. It was top 10 in glitch hop, top 10 in breaks,
Nice.
top 100 in house,
Nice.
top 100 in electronica, and top 100 in drum and bass.
That's pretty big to make it in the house because
Dude,
there's
that's
so
fantastic.
much every
That's
week.
fantastic.
There's like 6,000 tracks
Same
every
with
week
drum and
that
bass,
go through the
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Awesome.
like really like, you know, even though it wasn't top 10 in house, but whatever, dude. I was excited. Like that was pretty cool to hit 5 for the release to chart in 5 genres. I was pretty excited.
Oh, there's 2 of that.
First time ever had it happen. This is the artwork.
No, that's a great mix, man. I've
It
listened
really
to
is.
that thing. I can't tell you how many times. I still rock out your old mix that I played on the way back from Florida a couple years ago. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, everybody does their thing, and you have your own unique style, and that's what's good about you. And you just bring a little bit of flavor of everything, and it's just
And
great.
a lot of bit
man.
of funk.
It's just it's just great.
A lot of
It's
bit of
just
funk.
great, and that's what we need in this. We need everybody to make it relevant. We try to make it relevant. That's all we try to do.
Hey, Wes, when you going overseas, bro?
Yo, bro.
He was just
I was just in Spain like within 6 months, and so probably not. I don't have any plans right now.
He's been in outer space for the last 2 months.
No,
That's way over
No.
So my definite thing right now is to do right now what I and I talked to you a little bit about it, Julian, is like right now I'm working on we're gonna do 4 parties here in San Diego a year, and that's the Juice Day Out parties. We may do a Juice Night Out party like once here during the year, but it won't be more than once probably. And then try to do some Juice Night Out parties, 4 or 5 of them within the year, calendar year or calendar year, whatever. Like I told you, like definitely would like to come back to Charlotte, try to make that happen.
Make that happen.
Definitely San Francisco for sure, because I have a ton of fun there, and there's a great support there. And with ShYo and Space Cowboys and Rhino and a lot of the Burning Man camps that have supported me. So that'll definitely happen. Probably do New York, definitely Orlando. So those are like 4. Seattle was a good show the last time around. It was the first time I played there, but probably do that again. It was a small show, but really fun crowd. And so I think we can, do more stuff there. And plus, like, Dot Diggler's there.
That Diggler!
I feel like watching Poland.
You can't not have that reaction to it.
Dot and I have like Dot and I, like we bonded at Burning Man, like playing, like doing back-to-back sets and stuff like that. And he's a cool kid, and so he's really working hard on doing his thing in Portland and Bend, Oregon, and Seattle and Phoenix. So he's got those connects. So that might be a little sort of like mini thing. You know, I don't know if it'd be Juice Night Out or not. Maybe just me playing, but that kind of thing. But the Juice Night Out parties, like a big part of my goal with that is to bring along somebody, you know, with me and just make that work out. You know, like if it's Colin who helps out with the label and pours his heart out into that stuff, you know, or if it's Kelly. Or another artist from the label. It could be DJ Fix, you know.
Was in the hands house.
Hey, so
you know, it's just all that, you know. And those guys, that's a spectrum of different genres too. So that's the goal, I guess. You know, I'm just putting out there. That's the point in those Juice Night Out parties is to have that juice sound, but to also represent, you know, some of the bass house or whatever it is that we know is a good DJ that's doing good things.
We appreciate you guys are doing your thing with that, and I appreciate
Hey,
that.
so what?
Awesome.
So I'll ask you a question, man. You asked about Charlotte. So San Diego, which is your hometown, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What are they feeling there? You know what I'm saying? What are
What's
they?
the San Diego vibe?
What's the scene there?
Well, it's big. I mean, it's definitely big on house music for sure. Like, and I'll talk about a few of the people that are doing this stuff, you know. So like in the house music arena, there's a really long running night that, you know, it's maybe like, I'd call it a small night, small medium night. It's like almost a big night in terms of talent, but they do it on a Wednesday. It's called Dance Classic. It's been running like forever.
Wow.
That's cool.
Joe P. You can check out some of these names. You know, Joe P.
Transformation.
Like a Wednesday. That's pretty impressive on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played, and so Joe has played the Juice Day Out parties with us. He plays all over. Great house DJ. You know, he's doing some production as well. He works with some of you guys may know Oscar P, who's a veteran house music guy out of New York, but now he lives here in San Diego. So he does a thing on Sundays. It's called Gossip Grill. That's like the name of the bar. And it's over in shit. What's the I can't remember the area, but anyway, so they're doing that party, and those are I would say those are like the I don't know if underground's the right term, but those are like the definitely true soul house music parties. And then we got the bigger clubs, you know. So the bigger clubs, like there's a basement here in San Diego, you know, and that's probably it's probably a 500.
There's a basement in every town.
Yeah, there's one in what's Otter. He has one too.
Oh, Otter,
yeah, we talked about that on his variety show too.
Yeah, so basement will do all of the you know, like the dirty phonics and all that kind of stuff, and it's like I'd say it's probably a 500 to 700 person main floor, and then they have a side room that's hip hop, and then bar rooms and lounge and shit like that. It's a big club, so that's cool here. And that's definitely like the go-to spot for, I would say, like the nastier side of bass. And then there's a club, Bang Bang, which is probably like main floor is probably a few hundred people, and it's also a sushi restaurant on one side, so that's pretty cool. And it has a mixed house, a lot of house, bass house, like Night Bass will play there, that kind of stuff. Dirty Bird. Not like Club on Stroke. I don't think he plays there, but like the like, you know, like the what do you call it? Like the second lineup or whatever. You know, the second team for Dirty Bird will play at Bang Bang a lot and stuff like that. And then there's Omnia. Omnia's here, which is owned by I'm pretty sure it's owned by Hakkasan, who owns the Hakkasan out of Vegas. And so that, I would say, in terms of like major EDM, quote unquote, the broad EDM, I would say.
Hey, that sounds fancy, Hakkasan. That sounds like it's fancy.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah, so that's big, kind of big boys.
No, well, so Hakkasan in Vegas is like massive, like absolutely massive. That's where Calvin Harris has a residency and Cascade and all that.
Yes.
All that. So they'll I think they own Omnia here, so they'll come. Sometimes they'll get some. You know, a lot of those people will come through. Like Tiesto plays at Omnia, but Skrillex will play there too. So it's a pretty mixed thing. But that's kind of, I mean, that's 4 or 5 of the big venues here and small venues. And Spin Nightclub is like, I would say Spin Nightclub is probably the biggest nightclub here that is not, let's say, part of the super commercial EDM scene.
The big room EDM mentality kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, I use EDM collectively as what we do, what everybody does. But when I say like the commercial EDM scene, like all the stuff you might either hear on the radio or people doing Sprite commercials and, and that's all awesome, whatever. That's cool too. Grammy winners, whatever. Like those people aren't playing at Spin, but Spin is still a 800 to 1,000 person venue.
Oh shit.
Which is kicking ass.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why I say it's the biggest.
Oh, okay.
Like the biggest non-commercial EDM venue. So like when people like Marcus Wyatt or DJ Dan or a lot of the Burning Man camps, like Camp Charlie, who I've camped with a number of years, they do their fundraisers. Like Spin is the go-to, all of that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, what are you doing? Punch me in a booby.
And there's a crew. They have a couple different things they do, but like United by Bass is a crew. They do a lot of stuff at Spin. And so Colin, who I mentioned, Cole Vassallo, like he's part of that crew, but he also helps run Juice, the label. So there's a good family here of like the music and people working for different people and really supporting things here in San Diego.
What do you mean cut you off? What?
Sorry.
It's all Clay's fault.
We're talking to.
Yeah, we're like debating shit
We're
over
talking
here.
to Josh B because he wants to do the needle drop tonight.
Yeah, he's like giving us like 3 different tracks.
Yeah, but he's supposed to.
Supposed to turn in.
I don't think he understands that he's gonna call in and do the needle drop.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll have to call it.
The real question is, do
What?
Wait,
I want some of those damn glasses, by the way.
big?
huh?
Do they look big?
Yeah, they look
Yes.
huge.
Are we live?
Like Donald would say, huge.
Are we live?
Yes.
I think I might be onto something here. Just like,
Are those the ones that have the actual branding on the side? I would like a pair, please. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
See,
Oh, what's it say?
Ship it. It says ship it.
It says ship
Yeah.
it.
it does. It does say
Yeah,
ship it.
Neely calling
Is
me.
he calling?
these are they don't. They say they gooder.
Gooder? Okay.
They're the unofficial sponsor of the variety show. Yeah, they don't know it. They're out of I think they're out of Santa Cruz or San Clemente or somewhere in California. Definitely somewhere out of California. But they so like the name of this model of glasses is called Nessie's Midnight Orgy. They come up with all kinds of fun stuff. But go check them out. So you can't tell, but I caress this like a fine friend. They're like a textured surface, and so when you're all sweating it out on the dance floor or wherever you happen to be sweating it out, they don't slide off your head.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
Cool.
perfect.
I would like a pair, please.
Send them to DJ Mac.
That's their claim to fame.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ship it.
Yeah.
Ship it.
I can send you an address.
Ship it.
Later.
Dude, look at that. That's like a big beer. What is that, like a 40?
No, that's what we do here.
33. He's got a 33.
Dude, it's a turdy turd.
It's a 33 and a third.
It's a titty tree.
I love it.
A 33.
That shit look big.
It's a tree fitty.
Yeah, it was almost as big as those glasses.
Speaking of which, are any of you guys into fighting? Did any of you guys get into the Mayweather Mac fight?
Oh yeah, we watched that.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
We had it at my house. I had a screen, I had a projector screen on the wall, and we invited a few people over. But Mac and Rabbit, they were in Fayetteville doing a party that night, so they couldn't make it. But we had about 10, 15 people here at the house that night watching the fight. That was a
How good
good time with that.
How good
I
was
will say this. I was playing at the time, so I played a track. I went and watched it, and then I mixed, and then I went and watched it, and then I watched it, and then I mixed
Where were you?
in Fayetteville.
They were in Fayetteville
Okay.
doing a subculture party.
But I did watch it. and I played at the same time, and it was great. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it was hype. I mean,
dude, the guy went 10 rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
He did good. But if
exactly.
you would have put him in the ring in an MMA match, it would have been a whole different ballgame.
No, but see,
Of
that's
course, but still, like
Mayweather was never going to get in the ring with him in an MMA fight.
So I was looking at some of the stats off of that, and Agent 137 might have to validate these stats.
Is that me, or are we playing what?
Lost your seat.
Go over there.
I think like Conor. I think there were some stats like Conor hit Mayweather more times than like.
He hit
in the first like 3 rounds, 4 rounds.
No, he hit Mayweather more than Pacquiao hit Mayweather.
Yeah.
He hit Mayweather more than any other fighters hit Mayweather, and it was an all-around good fight in general.
I mean, I don't think Mayweather was ever in danger, but it was just a better fight than a lot of the fights that have been pure boxing, quote unquote.
Come say hey, Wes.
I don't think anybody thought it was going to go 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody thought it was
No, nobody thought that fight was going 10 rounds.
We have a special guest that just walked in.
Yeah, we do.
She's like, no.
Come here.
Come on, girl. Say hello.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Come sit down with us for a minute.
Josh is watching it.
There we go.
Josh is watching.
New
Josh is
special guest.
tuning.
Josh B. Come on.
God damn, man. I'm gonna sit back here.
Yep, there you go.
Mrs. DJ Mad Monk Tracy is here.
Back in the back.
Joined us.
Mad Monk, how's the racing scene going these days?
I really haven't been keeping up with a whole lot of it this year, but I know Junior's retiring after this year. Other than that, I really don't know a whole lot. I haven't keeping up with it.
You missed the drag strip. Just tell it. Just say it.
I mean, if you want to come up and watch the drag races, you can.
I did when I was there. That was awesome.
You come back.
I'm going to say this right now. If any DJ goes to play for Square Pegs or another crew they know, and you go to Charlotte, you have to try to get there on a weekend when they have those fucking drag races.
I was just telling Kelly about that tonight when we were at dinner.
It is so crazy. Most people don't get the opportunity to stand. I would say we were 50 yards from the start line, whatever, 100 at the most.
No, probably 25.
Close. We were fucking close.
Yeah.
And it was like the only thing that's ever shaken me like that, like in terms of a noise, might be like question mark sound system at Burning Man.
No,
that's it.
Oh, your eyeballs rattle. I mean, it's a whole nother level.
I used to live right next door to that, so yeah.
And on that note, I got to tell you guys, if you ever so people talk about all kinds of shit at Burning Man, and if we're strictly talking sound and not all the other stuff and that thing, I got to tell you, Question Mark is a camp, and they primarily do bass music, like in terms of kind of the, glitchy, I would say like, you could call it 140 or 70 beat per minute, whatever, halftime, but that kind of glitchy bass music, and that's their thing. But I got to tell you what, their sound system, I would take people over there.
It's incredible.
We would go out on like a ride about, around Burning Man, and people would be like, where to go, this, that, whatever. And I would just take them there and be like, look, it doesn't even matter if you like the music, because like I already know you like house music for life, but come over here and just stand next to the fucking wall of 18-inch speakers. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. Not at Coachella, not at Crossed here in San Diego, like big festivals. Not anything I've ever been to, I've never seen a wall of subwoofers like that in my life.
Hey, Wes, real quick.
But did it compare to that rumble of them cars that you heard go down that track?
It made me think of it. It's close, dude. It's close. Like anyone I've ever taken over there, and they'll be like standing kind of in the outfield, and you got to remember, you're like 100 yards away from the fucking frontline sound system, and they're like, dude, this is loud. And I'll be like, come on. I'll be like, come on with me to the front. This is just something human, you need
like
to.
I did to you.
No, I actually rode by on my bicycle. I was with my friend David, and we rode by a sound camp on my bicycle, and I fell over because it was so strong. Like it was just like, and I fell over. I was like, and I lost.
When you stand next to the so they have this whole, it's a huge crowd, like at least
It's incredible. It's what sound like you never felt.
and then like and when you're back further in the crowd, you're like looking and you see like they have all kinds of cool shit. They have like people spinning fire and coming in and out and little magi guys sitting on like things and whatever. And
Porn cat.
it's magic and trickery.
Whatever.
Whatever. It's cool stuff. But you're looking at it and you think like, you're like, oh, that's cool. They got like a stage up there. And then there's like all these people dancing and stuff like kind of at this level above, like head high, their feet are head high to you, whatever. And then you're like, you finally realize, oh, I see. That whole entire thing is stacks of 18-inch double.
Oh, nice. That's
That's my kind of people. That's
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
I think it was, I'm pretty sure when we counted it, it was 42. It was 42 doubles. So if there's two 18s in each one, it would have been 84 18s.
yes.
Shit.
Hey, hey, Wes, real quick. I just want to come here, Mouse. Come here.
Oh, back to rap.
My whole family came home while we were here. This is Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
This is my son Miles.
Hi, Miles. You guys are on YouTube.
And they both have tracks on my SoundCloud page.
Ooh.
Just saying that they've come up with playing with the Launchpad app from Novation, but they all showed up. They just got back from jiu-jitsu class, so they're ready to kick somebody's ass.
We were just talking about, so they need to weigh in on the May Mac fight.
The Mayweather Mackie, yeah, the Mayweather fight. They watched the fight. They were here.
These are our first guests under 18 years of age.
Yes, they are.
Cheers.
And thanks for saying the F word like 7 times in the last 10 minutes.
They've heard it before.
I'm in middle school. I hear it all the time.
Okay,
Hey,
all right.
Wes.
We're totally trying to correct the format of the show. Like we're trying to correct the rating.
You lost your PG rating.
So
But you're into jiu-jitsu. Do you like do you watch like UFC MMA stuff, or are you strictly jiu-jitsu?
I don't watch usually like MMA stuff. I don't watch the stuff on TV, but I do take Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
she goes to a Gracie school.
Gracie.
Like Eric Grigsby.
They when we got the fight, it was kind of on a whim, and they haven't seen a whole lot of the UFC stuff, but it's in the futures, especially since they're taking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They will be watching more.
So are you like so like in your age group and your training and stuff? Are you like a Damian Maia fan? Like Damian Maia? Are you a Damian Maia fan?
I don't know who that is.
But he's like known for jiu-jitsu first and foremost for BJJ, and then he's great in the UFC too. But he's like really a jiu-jitsu practitioner. So
Yeah, they just started like a month ago.
Yeah.
all right.
Really
They're just getting into it, but they're really enjoying it.
Well, then check out Eric Grigsby because he's a jiu-jitsu guy too.
That's what she said. We'll have them watch the Eric Grigsby show.
Yeah.
And he's watching us right now, so it's like Eric Grigsby, like Inception.
We had to mention him at least 4 times today.
Hey, Wes.
Awesome.
Hey, Wes, I'm a little like, dude, you didn't say anything about Carowinds, man, when you were here last time.
Carowinds!
Dude, that's one of our
Superman!
the hearts of Charlotte. Actually,
I didn't get to it yet.
No,
Rock Hill or something
well,
like
no,
South
it's on the border of North and South Carolina,
South
between
Carolina.
Rock Hill and Charlotte.
It's South
It's fun.
Carolina.
Let's give it up for Charlotte and Carowinds.
It was definitely fun. Laying down on the ground with the line, like on the line. That's fun. So you have to go to the drag races if you can do it, and if you can't do that, then you got to go to Carowinds, and you got to do that fucking crazy roller coaster. What was that thing, dude?
The Fury. The Fury's a big boy.
Yeah,
Is he the Fury or the Intimidator?
It was a Fury.
Or it's a big one.
It
Yeah.
was a big one.
that thing was mental. Like
Yeah.
that's when we went on that, and I was like, I got off it, and I was like, I think I'm done for today.
It's I think it's like the fastest and biggest roller coaster in the East Coast.
It's the tallest and fastest giga coaster in the world.
In the world.
What is a giga coaster?
I have no idea, but that's just what they call it.
It's a giga.
I feel like your feet.
It's 1,000 times a coaster.
I think that anytime I'm gonna play, I'll be like, I'm Giga Agent 167.
This is a coaster, and that is 1,000 times.
And this is a 32 giga coaster. Right there you go.
There you go.
Wait a minute. There's a definition for it. So a giga coaster.
Are you really Googling that? That's awesome.
Hashtag.
Of course, we Google everything. This is a science show, dude.
64 gigs.
Okay. Go ahead, please, Wes.
We only deal in facts here.
We're factual.
No MSNBC, no Fox News.
We're polyfactual here.
Polyfactual.
300 feet. It has a drop of at least 300 feet.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what classifies a giga coaster.
It's like 45 degrees. Once it gets to the top,
it's 5 G-force, right?
Yeah, and Fury is 325 feet. I think it's a 87 degree drop.
You know, if you came for Thanksgiving or October, you could do Scarowin. Scarowin.
No, we do have an October date open. Just saying.
We bitch, I got my seat back. That's why y'all ring the doorbell, get your seat back.
We did talk about it, but I got
this one sticks now. Wow.
All right, cigarette.
Uncle Mark is special.
No, but we do have an October date open. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, is it the 30th? What day is Halloween? What day is Halloween this year round?
Halloween this year, hang on, I'm not sure what date it's on.
Halloween's the 31st. It's always on the 31st.
October 28th, I will be playing with DJ Dara, and I will be spinning vinyl.
Yeah.
What? I will be busting out some classics.
The 31st is on a Tuesday, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Who wants a party on a Tuesday?
No, on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I got shit to do from the 19th to the 22nd, so that's out. So probably won't work, but
yeah.
Well, they're actually Carowinds
October
this year.
28th at Surge. Actually, 27th they have Bad Boy Bill, which is going to be amazing.
Yep.
And on the 28th they're going to have Dara, and I'm going to play some vinyl.
He's going to play on the back patio.
It's going to be great.
Vinyl on the patio with Dara.
It's amazing.
Yep.
I'll be playing all the old school classics because I never play old school.
Wow.
Are you serious? You never play old school?
No, well, once in a while I slip it in.
No, he likes the new school.
I do.
Mac is all about that fresh shit. Like,
yes.
you didn't know about that.
No.
You don't know about this tune.
Hold on.
Kelly, you haven't heard this tune.
Are you guys wait.
I love where I came from, but I'm all about promoting the new music.
No.
Like that new shit.
Now, hold on. Now, on that note, he does like promoting the new music, but you know, there's not a whole lot of what I call pretty shit out there anymore. And
I mean, like pretty shit.
I don't understand. What is that?
Pretty shit,
Melodic,
like old school, like Dave London. You know,
I see where we're going with this.
Nice pianos.
We're going to my new track.
And that new track he just released is complete and total old school, and it is amazing.
The new track from who? Let's look it up.
From Mac, it's called By Your Side.
Hey, that's a great time for a needle drop.
Needle drop it, because that shit is awesome.
You want to hear it?
It's got a little bit of that old school flavor.
You want to hear it? I got it. You want to hear it?
Throwback. If you want to hear it.
You want to hear it? Here it goes.
I already beat you to it.
Oh, go Wes Smith! What?
It's a beautiful
He
track.
totally has it. Yeah, do it.
I sat in the studio.
That was smooth as
I'm gonna play.
There's a comment that said breathtaking.
You gotta scrub it. Yeah, it's like a minute and a half. Scrub that shit.
No, it ain't 40 seconds, dude. I'm new school. 30 seconds.
It's a 45-second track and the intro is 30 seconds.
Hey, but let's make this official, okay?
I'm gonna say you're a minute 33 seconds dude, dog.
Oh,
I got a needle drop in a bit. There's the pretty part. Oh, wait, I gotta go back.
I will be by your side.
This is why we let me do this shit.
All right, I see what you mean, and I like it. It's I see what your comment is. I see what you mean.
I sat in the studio and I come across those parts and I had them all, and I had the violin and I had the strings and I had all that. And what it boils down to is right after my brother passed away, I really sat in the studio and I wanted to clear my head and I wanted to try to get everything out of my system and just like have a fresh head and just not think about anything. And I found that, and I was like, man, what can I do with this? And I tried everything. I tried to turn it into a banger. I tried to turn it into many things. And the only thing that felt right to me was this old school feel. And I'm all about the new school. I love the new school. I love everything, anything anybody's doing. I love it. But that track just felt so right as a new school feel. And I wasn't going to do nothing with it. And I decided to put it out and give it away. And I actually love it. But I love the new school. I love promoting what's new and breaks. I constantly love promoting what's new and breaks. But the old school is where it's at. But every weekend, it kind of gets a little bit out of control. I mean, we got to hear some new stuff.
Yeah.
Every weekend is not good. Every once in a while is good for me. Hell, my new mix has DJ Icy's bass tripping on it. That's one of the oldest damn tracks in the world.
It does. And that new mix for Utopia is an incredible, wonderful
I appreciate
mix.
that.
what I was gonna say, Wes, is
Wait a minute. Speaking of which, let me interrupt. Speaking of which, let's get I was gonna say top one, but let's say top two old school tracks from each of you of all time.
Oh my God! Take my love. Take my love. Take my love.
Look at Julian. Julian looked like he ate a Sour Patch Kid.
Let's hear it. Take my love. Raise your hands. Which it really ain't a breaks track. It's more of a house track. I love that one.
Follow me to a city of
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would have to say, D-Ream, You're the Best Thing, Sasha Full Mix.
Best thing,
That is,
that's a good one.
And then Tony DeBart, You're the Best Thing. I mean, not You're the Best Thing. Tony DeBart.
I know that one.
But
Tony DeBart, You're the Real Thing.
You're the Real Thing. Yeah, the Real Thing. Tony DeBart.
That's tough too. Tony DeBart, and
that is a good one.
My love.
Love.
Hey,
when we were riding in the truck the other day, they brought that back in a new song. Remember?
Yeah.
We were riding in the truck the other day. Icy has a new track out, and he has Take My Love. He's got the synth from Take My Love in it. He's got that so in it, and I only hear it. I don't know if anybody else hears it, but I hear it. It's just a little womp womp, but it's so quick. But it is so the old school sample, and every time I hear it, I think of the old school track, and that's just what it is. I mean,
if there were two more for me, it would be Cotton Club, Do What You Want, and Chemical Brothers, Chemical Beats. Or actually, the Dust Brothers, Chemical Beats. Those would be my top four. And they're not broken. They're not all broken beat. You know, a couple of house tracks, couple of broken beat
none
tracks.
of the old school tracks were broken beats. They were house, broken beats, house.
That's not true.
House, broken. Yeah,
that's not true.
No,
because if you go back,
I own the vinyl.
No, I do too. If you go back to Two Bad Mice, you go back to Deep Cruise, you go back to anything on Suburban Bass.
But that's different.
All that Suburban Bass stuff
back.
was incredible.
That's not way back.
No, that's all like 80.
Way back in the time.
It's pretty damn far back.
It's all like 89 to 91, 92.
You guys forgot about Go Speed Go. Go
What?
Speed Racer?
Yes.
That's some fucking
Speed
93
Racer?
shit, son.
Sesame Street. For,
Sesame Street.
you know,
Dude, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Considering.
Hey, Wes, what I was trying to say before.
Wait.
I don't
Hold
know.
on, hey, Wes.
Hold on, wait. Let
Wait,
Wes
wait,
talk.
wait.
Hold on.
Shush.
What I was trying to say before is, right here, Clay is our official SquarePants historian right here, okay? He's got all the shit. He knows all the shit. He's been doing it for a long time, dude. So old school, he's still playing those records. He's got turntables right here in his room next door right here.
Clay does definitely drop the
Wait.
He's our
You
historian.
walk in and the foyer is a studio.
Yeah.
Right? It
Historian.
just says, yes, the foyer.
The foyer is a studio.
It's a
Clay's
studio.
house.
It's a studio.
He's so fancy.
I don't know if I'd say it's a studio, but there's
It's definitely a
there's
studio.
quite a few records.
There's like some stuff there.
Yeah,
there's
he's
a
got
lot
some
of stuff.
there. He's like, you can play records when you're bored tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, if y'all want to come over and play records, anybody wants to come over and play records at my house, come over and play records.
Come on,
I got
play records. We got records.
I don't want to come over.
I got like 5,000 records.
just wanna
Come
move
over and
in.
play some records. I know it's not like the biggest collection in the world, but hey,
Who's
come
talking
play
to
some
you?
records.
Who's talking to you? you got someone talking to you?
Look at this guy back here.
Who is that? Is
Look at
that
this
you?
guy back here. What are you doing on the phone? What are
Are you on the phone? What is that?
The owner called me, so
Oh, and I was like, who is that girl? I thought girl was talking to Wes. It was like,
no, the
oh,
owner called me. I had to take it.
Oh.
My I'm gonna throw out I don't think this will be controversial, but probably my favorite song from, I'm gonna characterize it as like the 90s, 2000s, is probably Fatboy Slim's Praise You. That was
Dude, let's go way back. All right, let's go way back. Like Fever, Georgia Costa.
for me, that was a really
Let's
cool
go back like way back, like Georgia Costa, Fever.
I used to open my sets with Georgia Costa.
I mean,
Fever.
like all that stuff
When-
is great, but every weekend, no.
He's
Like-
like, this weekend.
Of course not every weekend, but okay, so part of the reason I asked the question was just interest, but I think also part of it is to share like out of the million people that listen to this, there'll be, like I have a number of fans online and stuff from like the video game project stuff, and they're usually pretty young, and so I find like a lot of the younger generations are very open to like trying to research and hear like music. And there's so much out there, dude. It's hard sometimes to, if you don't know what you don't know, it's very hard to go back unless you're looking at like an iTunes rating system or something like that, which may be fine. But that's why I like to throw some of these things out there, because you guys are mentioning, really great names like, Georgia Costa and, it could be like Joey Beltran and Lauren Garnier and like for all of us, like we might know, even if we were never like super into like Lauren Garnier's music or something, the guy is still around and touring and has had a phenomenal impact on all of his music, whatever music it is that you're currently into. And I love to throw out some of those things where it's like respect for people that we all enjoy. So that's partly what I'm asking too, is like throw some names out there, because people.
I will agree 100%, and I will tell you to this day, somebody that I've loved to this day, and I love techno, but Sven Vath is still doing it to this day. To this day, I party with that dude back in I don't know what 90s something. And he's still doing it on vinyl to this day. And I love it. I don't knock any of it. But I still love what is new and what is fresh. And it's good to give them a little taste of the old school, but to also bring the new school 100%. Because like Yo Speed, the Yo Speed mix on the Armory podcast is fucking fire.
Yo Speed is dope.
It is so fire.
Yo
I
Speed's
listen to
dope.
that mix constantly. It is so great.
Yo Speed
It
is
is
really,
just
really
so
good. His
great. That
production
Yo
is on
Speed
point,
Armory
too.
podcast list is so great. It's so great. And like my boys, I'm on Wasted recording labels too. And Suga 7, Obscene Frequency. So when Obscene Frequency dropped that old school Rollin', well, I don't know what he calls it now. It's called something. But when he sent it to me, it was called Old School Rollin'. It's called Rollin' now, I think. But that Picture Me Rollin' track, it is so dope. and it's got such an old school feel to it. And Chris Lund picked it up and put it on his mix with Punks. That is such a hot old school / new school feel track. And something like that is great for today, but it has that old school feel to it.
Okay.
And it's just so great.
Can I interrupt 1 second?
Wait 1 second. I think Yoski. Well, actually, we all have to take a break for this dog that's been barking.
Yeah, please take care of the dog.
It's actually like.
The dog is pissed.
Yeah, I've been with you on
The
that.
dog
one.
is pissed, but I think it's the
dog
dog.
barks.
It's 2 dogs. They come in.
The most dog barks in the history of the internet, right?
So
we're making history here on the Wes Smith Show.
So when I lived in Charlotte, I used to throw like small parties, and then there was like a party that I considered myself a little bit of a promoter, and I threw a party, and it was my vanity booking. All right, so you know what I'm talking about when I say this. So like Wes and I have talked about this. There's people that you book that are people that are going to make you money, right, as a promoter. And then there's a vanity booking. So my vanity booking was Richard Humpty Vision.
Woo! What?
Right. So
yeah,
like,
I hear you, Wet Panties.
Right. Yeah, so I was like, like if I'm gonna bring somebody to Charlotte, who am I gonna bring? And it was Richard Humpty Vision, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. Huh?
Richard
So-
Humpty Vision? What was that, like,
so-
is that 2002 or something?
Who's your Wet Panties booking?
No, that would have been like.
knock it off, man.
Yeah, it probably was like 2002.
Yeah, right in there.
No, I just-
Yeah. He's right.
No,
He's right.
Who's your Wet
It was
Panties
David
booking?
Garcia.
Yeah.
It was David
Oh,
Garcia.
Oh, back in the day
Soul
was-
Soul Sonic, which was Brandon, who is
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
Free
Yes,
Critique.
yes.
And yeah, so that was my vanity booking. So right, what were the other ones? They're the vanity bookings, the ones that make you money, and the ones that are just freebies, right? So what's your vanity booking? Like, who would you book?
Oh, my vanity booking. Gosh.
Wait, hold on.
It would be Ani from D-Light. He's always killed it with me.
Who's in the house?
Always.
Not to meet you.
No, Ani.
Not to meet you. I
Ani,
got
he
you.
brings you a fucking
Wait a
funk,
minute.
like old school funk, like 70s. Yes.
Wait,
yes.
are we talking about now or 15, 20?
No. Now,
Overall.
if you vanity
Overall.
book someone, not
Overall.
like someone you knew you wouldn't make money off of, like someone
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
we're going to make money
like,
off
the-
of.
Oh,
Stan Warriors.
Hold on.
Stan Warriors.
All right, first we start. Okay,
Yeah.
who's
that
your
backfired.
all-time vanity booking?
Rich Humpty Vision.
Okay.
You're bringing
Stan
them
Warriors.
you're bringing them for you,
No.
not to make money.
All right,
Yeah.
so look,
Oh, not to
Not
bring
to
any
make
money?
money.
Not to
Hey.
make money. It's just for you.
Hold on,
This
when
is
I-
your choice.
when I lived in Fayetteville,
It's like, who are you going to book so you can feel sexy and not feel cheated?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
when I lived in Fayetteville like 15 years ago, and I was trying to do some little shit, Andy Hughes. Was
Yes.
Hughes, yeah.
Andy
Yes.
Hughes was amazing.
Andy
Andy
Hughes.
Hughes, Kimball Collins.
Andy is a
Collins,
constant
yeah.
Florida shit, son.
Andy is
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
a fun guy.
Hey, but you know what? If I had to do it, and this name ain't been mentioned in a long time, DJ Chang. Boom. DJ, what? DJ Chang. Who's DJ Chang?
Mine
Google that shit.
would
Listen
be
to some of them old mixes.
mine would possibly be
Look, Wes done left. He went to Google it.
He's like, I got y'all.
I think
I love you right now. I love you right now. DJ Chang.
Wait, Tracy didn't see that. Do it again. Do it again.
do it again.
Do it again. Do it
It's
again.
over. It's over.
Aw.
I think
Who's
if-
yours? I want to know who
You
yours is.
can watch it on replay.
I think if it was mine, it would be there'd be one of two people. It would be either Simply Jeff
Yeah, Simply Jeff. Yeah.
Or-
he's
That's
If-
us right there.
or Kimball Collins. One of those two.
Oh.
I want to know who Wes's is. Who's yours,
Yeah.
Wes?
Who's your vanity?
My vanity booking.
Is that Paris Hilton?
I heard she killed it at
Shut the
Burning
fuck
Man.
up. Shut
Yeah,
the
I heard she did a great
Shut
job.
the fuck up. That bitch stole my set.
No, that's a
That bitch
vanity.
stole my soul in my set time. Fuck
That's
you,
a-
Paris. Sorry.
That's booking a vanity. That's different.
You can't for 24 hours a day.
They,
You took mine in DJ Rap's set. Fuck that girl.
Yeah, well, DJ Rap's cool.
I want to hear yours, Wes.
No,
That wouldn't be a vanity bookie. Who would it be? You know,
Who would it be?
I would-
Hold on.
because there's a number of people, but if I have actually heard them live or played a set that I enjoyed or whatever, I'm not going to pick them. So, but I would say someone who I never got to hear that I always heard a lot about, definitely from old school house crowd, would probably be Junior Vasquez.
Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. I will agree with you on that one. That's a good one. That's right there with Chang and Dave Canalti and all them old school like bow.
Have
you not heard of Chang? Danny,
I don't know if you could put Chang
Have you not heard of Chang?
in the same category, but whatever.
Dude, you need to Google some old school mixes and be enlightened. Danny Tenaglia? Hell yeah.
And Sasha, Sasha, I've never gotten to see.
Google some old school DJ Chang mixes and get back to me.
DJ Chang in the house.
Get back to me.
All I'm saying is I don't know. All I'm saying is I don't know if you could put them in the same category, but okay.
Probably get him to come out.
No, but
Yeah, probably good.
no,
Probably good.
I would say Sasha would probably be my ultimate.
And another person that I've never heard play live, which I think would be really cool, would be Armand van Helden.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, he's actually.
Yes.
Goddamn right.
I believe he's coming to Charlotte in a couple months.
Yes.
I believe so.
Well,
He's
all
gonna
these,
be at
all
World.
these people are out.
Because Charlotte has got a lot of things going on. Charlotte, we haven't even mentioned Sugar Society. Sugar Society is a whole nother level. They're doing some stuff at World and there's so much good music coming through Charlotte that we cannot even talk about.
Kevin Mitchell lives in New York.
Yes,
he's in
they've
New
been
York
around
now,
for a minute.
But he's been around in
But
Charlotte for a long
Charlotte
time.
has got a lot of good
He
music
started
going
out
on
here.
in this town.
I was there.
They've got,
I know you were.
Wes,
Well, see, and
there's a lot of good music going on in this town.
Believe it. So what about, let me ask you, what about some of the surrounding, let's say, southern states? Like I've played in Tennessee,
We were
Georgia.
there in Tennessee.
Yeah, I played with you in Tennessee.
So what's going on in some of those? What's going on in some of those places?
I got your balls in Tennessee.
You did. What's going on? What's going on?
We got a great picture of
We've
all
got
of
a
us with
picture
your
of you.
balls.
We've got a picture of all of us
No.
with your balls.
Not
Let's find it. Can someone
check
please?
out DJ Skit. He's doing his thing in South Carolina.
Okay.
There's quite a few things going on, but they just had like Keith McKenzie. They had Freak Boutique, which is old school soul sonic, and they had a pretty good party. The last weekend it was pretty dope. There's a lot of good things going on.
You've got guys in Virginia like DJ Fuzz.
Yeah, Fuzz and Quest and BG.
Quest and BG and Sketty
killing
that
it.
are all doing stuff up there, up in the Virginia area, Richmond, Virginia area.
All right. So that's South Carolina, Virginia.
Well, Virginia, yeah, and that's surrounding areas.
Actually, my absolute first rave was
Yes, let's talk about Fuzz.
yeah.
Let's
so
talk
my,
about Fuzz.
my
boy Fuzz.
My first rave was, I don't remember where it was. It's at church now, but Fuzz.
It's called the Baja. That's
the
where.
Baja!
That's
The
where.
Baja,
That's
yes,
where.
the
That's where
Baja!
I was resident DJ at.
The Baja and
long-ass
Fuzz played, and me and my friend went to a place called Midnight to Six.
Oh, midnight
and-
to 6. Yep.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, what is this? Oons music. This is pretty cool. And then we went to the Baja, and DJ Fuzz played, and I got a mixtape at Central Records, and it was
Shout out to Lynn Benfield, the
it-
old owner of Central Records,
Lynn.
who
Yeah,
spent
Lynn.
all of my money.
Lynn. And it was called City Lights, and man, that shit was the
Fuzz.
dopest shit ever.
Much
and then-
love, Fuzz.
and
I love
then-
you, brother.
And then I met Fuzz at a Miami party, and he had this USB, and he was like, Kelly, he's like, here you go. He gave me-
Oh yeah, right now they're partying up with Lady
yeah,
Wax.
Lady Wax. They got
Yep,
Lady
right
Wax
now.
right now.
They got
Wax
Lady
is
Wax.
Where?
Yes, they
In
do.
Virginia
in
right now.
Virginia.
Roanoke.
DJ Fuzz.
He's driving around.
DJ Fuzz. Let me tell you, DJ Fuzz is
He's
such
super
a
dope.
classic
He's
to this
super dope.
town.
Shout out Lady Wax.
Virginia.
He's super
Yes.
dope. He's super dope, and he's been for a long, long, long time. So yeah, Aaron Sigmund, Fuzz are like.
I've heard a lot of
Definitely
good
my-
stories with Fuzz, and I'm not from this town. I'm from Miami, and a lot of people have talked to me, and they've told me their old school stories, and Fuzz is always mentioned.
Fuzzy balls.
He's super duper dope.
Fuzzy balls.
Fuzzy balls.
Fuzzy balls. Actually,
Only blue ones.
he would be.
Miami. Speaking of Miami, did you guys? I did not go down there this year. Did any of you go down there?
I did. I
We
did.
were there for
I
the
played at
variety show.
Yes, and you weren't there.
That's where you were for the show, and I was not there.
But no,
But,
actually, I played at the Fire and Ice.
That night was great. Kelly
Yeah.
worked the door. She didn't get to see any of the show.
Hey, I was supposed to play in the punk show, but it got rained out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go right out, though, in the beginning.
It was
You
very
were so good in the beginning.
And what was the other show that I played? I played Break Show, and I played.
I played on Sunday for last night.
something else.
Something else, yeah. We played
But it
all
was
the
great. It was cool.
things. We played all the things.
I don't think Miami was as great this year as it was the year before.
So there was
It
not
kind of was, but
actually. So this is the 7 degrees of Lady Wax. So the last time that we played
Doggy Dog,
what was the hotel?
Doggy Dog
No,
at Congress.
No,
Yes.
it wasn't Doggy Dog. It was
It was Doggy Dog at
no,
Congress.
it wasn't. I played the show. I closed it out, and they actually shut down Congress and fined them like $50,000. She played,
That
and
was
then
2
I
years
played,
ago.
and he was there. Yeah,
Yeah, that was Congress.
yeah.
That
So
was
they
that
haven't-
was Doggy
It
Dog.
wasn't Doggy Dog. It was.
He hit his
No,
balls
that
floating
wasn't
around in
Doggy
the pool.
Dog. No, because I didn't play a Doggy Dog party.
No, it was the coast to coast thing that.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It was
that's
the-
what
yeah,
it
it
was.
was the
You're
Coast
right.
to
You're
Coast
right.
party.
You're right. You're right.
So this year there were no parties at the Congress because
Yeah, no, there was
the year
zero parties at the Congress.
because
Where was the Doggy Dog party this year?
They didn't have one.
they didn't have
No,
one.
they did.
What?
No, they did.
No, it was the
No,
dog.
no,
No,
no, no,
man.
That was the dog.
Oh, it's at Wynwood. At
It was the
Wynwood.
dog eat dog and hotcakes.
Oh
party.
yeah, that's right. They
And there's
did.
that
They
one-
had
they
it
did
in
that
Wynwood.
one
They had my boy Alakay.
They
which
did
I-
it- they
Hey,
did it at
up
the-
and coming artists to watch out for Alakay.
They
Yeah,
did it
they
at they did it at this warehouse.
You're right,
They
you're
did it
right.
at
It
this
was at
warehouse.
Wynwood.
It was in Wynwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It
had
was
Alakay
Wynwood.
FM3. It was pretty dope.
Huda
FM3
Decline.
threw down. Huda threw down.
It
You're
was
right.
at a warehouse
It's
in the
Wynwood.
art district.
Wynwood.
In
Wynwood, yes.
Yes, correct.
Wynwood, yes.
And it was the same night as
What you
Break Show when they had
Wynwood.
Brain Killer and me and Alakay
It-
threw down. Yes.
It just wasn't the same because it
Yeah,
wasn't on South
it
Beach,
wasn't the
but
same.
there was it wasn't the
Everything
same.
was super spread out.
It was.
How was Future Sound of Breaks? Did you guys go to that?
It was all right. I didn't go. I actually got to talk with Glenn just a weekend ago. We were
No,
hanging
because
out
it was
after
during
hours.
it was during Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, it was. It was during our party.
We didn't go.
And which is kind of odd. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all right. I mean, the breaks, that party didn't seem like it hit that well this year.
They had to do a lot.
We can't speak of it,
Let's just,
but I did talk to Glenn, and he said that it seemed to be a good party. So I got to take his word
yeah,
for
just,
it. I
it was
wasn't
just
there.
a different
I
spot.
did talk to Dom.
Not just anyway, how's San Diego?
Yeah, exactly. I did talk to Dom, and he said it was great.
It was awesome.
Dom had a good time. Dom had a great time. As
Dom
far as that, I
always
don't
has a good
know.
time.
Dom always has a fun
Come
time.
on.
I asked him
Dom's a
if
good
he
guy.
played some of that
You
shit
know.
music he makes. He said yes, so that's agreement. So
Oh,
we're
that's
good.
a vanity booking. Go Dom.
No, I just my only question about that was because I understand it was at a different venue this year, so
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they had it.
I think it all changed because of the different venues. Like the South
Well-
Beach venues didn't want us there because we were too loud. So
because
they-
you don't make no money.
right? yeah, and they didn't make any money. They didn't make any money at the bar. So then they moved everything to Wynwood, and everyone was kind of confused about that. So we went
And it was
to
so far away from
it-
South Beach.
super
Everybody was
cool.
kind of like, damn, that's like a $26.37.
Exactly, a $26 Uber ride.
Yeah.
And
Now,
they're
hey,
like, yeah,
now-
that's kind of far.
I
Like
mean, it
when I
was no
left
Fort
Kelly at the World
Lauderdale.
of Drum and Bass.
So what you're saying is I could get a taco, I could get 2 Coronas, I could go to a hip hop club,
I could
maybe
go to La South Beach
reggae night for free on the beach, and then
and a techno
got a
night.
taco because I didn't have to go anywhere.
Well, forget about it. There was a free night. There was Worthy. There was Billy Kenny.
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
so
yeah.
many people on a free night
Yeah.
at South Beach.
Well,
that
we
was
went to-
insane.
We went
Red
to
Light,
We went
I
to
can't even
rooftop
name
parties that
this-
were super.
yes.
That were free.
Red
Those
Light,
were the other-
Worthy, Billy Kenny, all free. There was just
Well,
so many
that's
dope
it.
parties
You know,
this year.
that's an interesting, different dynamic. Well, it started to take place. You know, it's kind of gone that way a bit over the years there in Miami. you know, where because it's kind of such a spectacle, it's like a lot of these labels and or brands that have been really successful elsewhere, essentially just doing free parties, you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't you can't, it's like you can't compete with free. You know, like
yeah, no, they had one of the dopest free parties rooftop. I mean, Billy Kenny, Worthy, Red Light. I mean, the names just went on and on and on, and all you had to do was go online and sign up for free. I mean, there was so many parties this year. It was so hard to compete. It doesn't compare to like 2 years ago and 3 years ago. And like when we played at the Doggy Dog Party, which was a great night. You killed it. Everybody killed it. Lady Wax was there, which she's going to be here tomorrow night. I mean, it was such a great night. We didn't really have that last year. We kind of had. It's just kind of hard to speak of.
And conferences changed so much over the past.
I think maybe you have to divert
the past 10, 12 years.
I think maybe you have to divert some traffic over here to San Diego. You know, we have this. So we have this West Coast Weekender. It's a 4-day music conference event. It's a lot of house music, but stay with me. That opens it up to.
I love house music.
As they expand it, though, my point is that opens it up to expanding it with other genres of music because you can't do house music 5 days. You know?
House music.
So, anyway. And people love.
Sorry.
And people love San Diego. So that's all I'm saying. And that
I
actually, now that I think about it, that's the reason I wasn't in Miami this year because I was here at the West Coast Weekender, which is the music conference going on over here. So
Because he was busy.
Hey,
well,
but you know what? When it all boils down to it, it was a good year at Winter Music Conference. Fire and Ice was amazing. They had great artists. They had Keith McKenzie. They had Figs. They had Decline. I played out there.
I mean, everybody.
A lot of people played out there. It was great. Yeah. Icy played. It was a lot. It was a great party. They had some good parties.
Wait, hey, hold on. Did we
but it almost seemed like everybody was trying to do something the same night, which kind of was a bad scene for the break scene.
It really did.
But as far as everything else musically goes, it was amazing. They had so much music. That was insane. But the break scene, kind of like everybody tried to like pile in on the same night.
Yeah, there was a few toes that were stepped on.
You know what? If everyone just collaborated and listened together,
it's not gonna. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen.
Yeah.
Wait, we got a Josh B needle drop for you on this. Stop, collaborate and listen.
Please do us the needle drop. I think it's a great time for a needle drop.
Listen to this, Wes.
No,
listen to this one.
We can't do that right
needle
now.
Drop. Needle drop.
Play the Ice
No,
Baby.
it's not in there.
Rice, gravy.
It's not in there. Oh,
Rice, gravy.
Got it. Oh, it's called Give It Up. All right, hold on. We got this. Hold on. All right, this is Josh B. This is the needle drop, and I don't know why he's not on this whole thing, but all right, I'm gonna scrub this out a little bit to like. We're going dark.
What the hell?
What the hell? That's not it. Come on.
Do you need it? I can get it for you if you need
Come
it.
on, guys. You guys do have one job. Hey, you got it. I got it.
Let's give it up. That would play.
Take it from you, however you choose.
Bear with us, folks.
Hey, where did you all go? It's like an intermission. Where did you go?
Oh, yeah, that's the Give It Up.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Josh's new Give It Up track. Yes, this is hot.
What? We've lost control, folks. We've lost control. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so that was Josh B.
Scrub it up to the drop.
No, we've already played that. Listen, that's already been done. So they didn't even know what I was playing. That was Josh B. Give It Up. That was not what they were
And
trying
that's
to
hot.
play.
That's new. That is on the real new.
That was
That's
like-
like he literally just made that like
he really-
in the past couple weeks.
He really wanted me to play an Ice Ice Baby remix,
Yes.
which I
Which is
do have, but I'm not really sure. And you wanted me to play Dat Boy
You're on the
Fletch.
wrong one though. You're on
No.
the wrong page. Yeah, Fletch is shit. But go to Josh's and he's got the Ice Ice Baby.
No.
Rice gravy.
Oh my God,
so
you
we like
guys,
to call it.
listen. Concentrate, you ADD motherfuckers. Dat Boy.
Hurry up. Play it. Play it. Play it.
Just
Do
it.
it.
It was right there. Do it.
All right.
That's
Help
not
me out.
it.
Help me out.
I'm trying.
That's not the
I'm trying.
one.
No, we're not playing Josh B.
I know, but that's not the one. You need to go to.
Oh,
You need to
you're
go
really
to.
making me mad
Dude,
right
where's this shit
now.
at?
The new one? The new Fletch?
new
What's
one
it
is
called?
The bubbly, the damn.
Okay, you know what? I like this one. Let's play that
Yeah,
one.
it's the music thing I feel about.
I really like this one.
That's what Kelly said. Who's that?
This is 8137 milligrams. I play this in slut. I play this in slut garden. No, I don't care. I'm playing
Kelly hit me up and said, "Who's this? Oh, I like this. Who is it?"
I play this in slut garden and I like it. Dance party.
We're pigs in the house.
You've lost control. You've lost control.
All right, cut that one. And then
Okay, no, he's good. He's good. All right, we got one more.
You've completely lost control.
All right, no, hold on. We got one. We got one.
Yeah,
more.
you're right.
All
Well,
right,
I'm on your team.
we got one more. All right, and this is Josh B. Ice Baby.
Yeah,
That-
this is hot. This is
All
really
right,
hot.
we'll listen to it, and then we gotta go.
This really is hot. Josh took the second Ice Ice Baby and took it to a whole nother level. This is some square peg shit right here.
By the way, Josh, if you're listening, I played this two weekends ago at Roxbury, and absolutely love it.
Julian's too cool for school, man. like, y'all are too white for this shit. I'm not
Martin Horger, the bacon spinning ready.
All right. We good?
Yeah, we good.
Oh my gosh, kids. That was like the longest needle drop ever in my
Did like 5 needle drops.
Now you know how it feels when it
You
goes
guys-
down to like 11:30 at night. And I'm
you are-
like,
you are not-
Hey, look, sport. You know what happens when
You're not getting enough sunblock in your life.
Dude, that's fucking SPF 50.
Jesus,
That's what Tracy
Holy
needs.
fuck.
Tracy needs the SPF 50 because she's
SPF 50.
Damn. We need
That's
SPF.
what I use. That's what I use, dude. I use 30 most of the time and 50 sometimes because I happen to have. I got it on sale, so I bought the 50. But
50
it really doesn't.
fucking insane.
There's not a whole lot of difference between 30 and 50. But use it, kids. It protect your skin, make you look beautiful when you get older, and people still like you.
Look,
Dude, I'm still 21.
I like that leathery look.
leather look. It's that Burning Man leather look. I've been in Burning
Yeah,
Man.
speaking of Burning Man
I've
leather
been in-
look, Kelly sent me a picture of Kelly after Burning Man. She looked like leather.
If you like the leathery looks, buy some chaps. That's all.
Hey, wait. Let's really talk about it. You posted a picture of you wearing this hat, and you look like you had the leather man going
Oh, let's find that shit. Hold up.
You talking about the one where he's in the cockpit of that
on.
aircraft?
Not only Kelly
Oh,
sent me.
yeah, dude, it could totally be. Totally be.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
but dude, I hate you because I want to be there, but you had the
All
leather man
all
look
things
going
go.
on.
When you're on Burning Man mode, yeah, all things go. Hey,
There it
Jules,
is.
how you doing back there?
It's your.
Look, that's it. That's
it's
the
your
one.
profile
Let's
picture.
play it.
Hold on.
That's the one. I don't even know who you are in this picture.
Look, hold
Oh,
on.
with my Russian hat.
Wait, down there. Wait, hold on.
That is still the wrong one,
No,
Kelly.
that's it.
That one.
Oh.
I got teeth missing and shit in that photo.
You look like a fan.
Fire Marshal Bill, she said.
Oh man, you look crusty. I can relate, man. I got.
I'm like 14 days deep in that photo, dude.
Hey, Kelly sent me a picture of her when she was deep into Burning
No,
Man.
this isn't Reno.
And she was looking pretty crusty too. She needed some cocoa butter and like a lot of things.
It's some love. I needed
Yes.
cocoa butter and love. I was in Reno. That's what anyone needs in Reno. They need cocoa
But
butter.
I will say I hate you
Love.
guys all, and next year I'll see you there and we'll have a great
yeah,
time.
we'll see you there.
Let's do it next year.
All right, maybe so. Or come to. I'm telling you, come to see me. Come to do West Coast Weekender. Divert that money over this way, and we'll
Yeah,
try to figure out a
do it this
party.
way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
What are we doing?
Do it, bud. Just do it.
All right, kids, I gotta go eat.
Hey, mention my name. You get a good seat.
Because that motherfucker
Oh, look,
eats.
look.
He eats.
Oh God, we went and got mud bugs today.
It's been fun. Thank you, kind people, all you mofos. Have a great time tomorrow night with the squad, and then I'll see Martin on Sunday. And
No. Lady Wax and Martin Horgan, man. Say it.
Yeah, say
Lady
it. Say it.
Wax and Mom.
that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow night, and then I'll see Martin on Sunday, and
Just in case people didn't hear it,
I will-
the show.
I will kick him in the shins for you. And
No, tell him I love him because I really haven't.
Yeah, Julian's got a man crush. It is so. It's like
I got a
official.
Hold on, hold on.
crush.
And tell him that my wife Tracy says hello because she has a woman crush on
Oh,
him.
yeah, girl.
you're gonna see him tomorrow night.
My wife loves some little Martin Horner.
Martin Horner and Chris.
Tomorrow night.
Yes, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
Kelly Ross and Chris.
Everybody, thank you to our wonderful sponsors, Latitude.
I love you, brother.
I'm so red right
We gotta do something about that beer selection, but
Yeah, no, we definitely got to have you come here and show
I'm a
us
cheap
what is good.
drunk.
Yeah, we don't have West Smith money.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
now.
good night, friends.
I'm trying to
Good
get
night.
that sponsorship. Trying to get that sponsor.
We lost all our viewers.
You got to do it.
Bud Light
Oh, well.
party,
If
ladies.
you're trying to get sponsorship, stay with the Bud Light.
Bud Light party.
Yeah, that's
Bud Light
Julian.
party. Bud Light
Julian
party.
at the end of the night. Bud Light.
I'll
Bud Light.
take 13 of these motherfuckers.
All right, kids. I'm
I
out.
love you, brother.
Thank you, man. Hey,
Later,
thank you.
Wes.
Hey,
Much
thank
love
you
to
to
you.
Juice. Thank you to all that. Thank you for having us tonight.
The juice and all that.
Spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah.
That.
You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here.
Stay classy, yo.
Stay
Hey,
classy.
hey, should I do the old Josh B?
Peace.
Maccabees.
Nope.